come up with that dog shit pick. What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jimnasium. As always, it's me, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only. It is Chase, Lupine Fiasco Sesums, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oaklawn. What's up, dude?
Before we get into it, I just have to say, just heartbreaking news about 30 minutes ago about the passing of Razorback legend Alex Collins. 29 is way too young, and it's very rare that I get sad about people I haven't met passing away, but I'm very sad about this one. So
there are a few that hit you differently. This one hit you, USFL legend, Razorback legend. Rest in peace, Alex Collins, for real.
It's tough losing him and Ryan Mallett in the same year. I made my jokes about Ryan Mallett, but he was like Sputnik for the Razorbacks. Like, he put us into like the space age, into the new era of football. That was
this year.
Yeah, it was just a couple months ago.
It feels like forever ago. Oh my God. This year has been going too fast and too fucked up. There's no real easy way to transition out of this, but Chase, The AP Top 25 preseason poll is out.
And it's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. Okay. So there's like one ludicrous thing that you have against it, or is there multiple? We'll go through the list, and I want you to like just say the word ludicrous when anything ludicrous happens, okay?
Okay, let's go.
I want your take on each one, but when it's ludicrous, let it out. At 25, we have Iowa.
Yeah, they're going to have a top flight defense, and I think they probably have a good offense too.
I think adding Cade McNamara, like, their defense is going to be stellar, amazing. That's Iowa. Special teams, of course. Offense can't get worse than last year, so top 25 sounds about right. Tulane at 24.
Yeah. Could be higher, but okay.
Get that beautiful green wave in there. Texas A&M 23.
Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. What's changed? What have they done differently? They brought in Bobby Petrino.
It's the Petrino factor, baby.
Yeah, but like, let's look at like teams that Bobby Petrino's had in like his first year. Be it, I mean, I know he's not the head coach, but as a court, ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous.
I would probably have them as like 30, like in the 30s.
I'm sorry, but not
top 25. Not top 25. No.
Not going from no bowl game and a completely underwhelming season, like, to
did they
top
beat Bama
25.
last year?
No.
Who'd they beat last year? I'm gonna look up Texas A&M's fucking.
They beat us. They beat Arkansas on some crazy bullshit.
Texas A&M football schedule 2022. Yeah, to me it is ludicrous that they are ranked. They beat LSU. Ooh, they lost to Auburn.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Their best offensive player now plays for your Dolphins.
Yes.
What has changed? What has gotten better? And if you tell me it's Bobby Petrino,
nothing on this resume.
Jimbo Fisher's proved that he's a worse recruiter of quarterbacks than Kevin Sumlin.
That checks. That tracks.
Ludicrous.
I'm co-signing ludicrous to here. 22 Ole Miss.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think like hovering like higher 20s is kind of where Ole Miss belongs.
That's fair. Yeah,
like high teens, low 20s. That's kind of their spot. North Carolina at 21. If
Drake
you ask,
Mason's pretty good. I don't think it's ludicrous. I think that might be kind of right.
If you ask Uncle Rico, and I'm kind of a little bit, I think this is a little bit underrated, but also we did get burned a few years ago.
Oh, totally.
You can't buy into like the last half of the season hype. This feels right to maybe underrated. 20 Oklahoma.
Ludicrous.
Based off of last year, yeah.
Yeah.
This is all just name. This is all
that's
getting
name.
In there
that's a
on the name.
You. That's a straight up name recognition top 25.
There's two things. There's name recognition, and I feel like literally everyone I've talked to about it, and everyone that I've heard, they have one of the easiest schedules I've ever seen, dude. Their schedule is cake. Like, I would not be surprised, even if they're not a great team, if they make the top 25 at the end of the season.
Yeah,
but
and
to have them here is ludicrous. I agree.
But I think that they're going to run into they're going to have a cake. They have a cake schedule, but as soon as they run into someone tough, they're going to get smoked.
Yes. 19 Wisconsin.
I think that might be a little ludicrous just because that's basically, I mean, it's a name recognition thing, but it's not Wisconsin name recognition. It's Luke Fickell name recognition. And I think putting any coach, any team in the top 25 because of a new coach hire and in their first year is a little bit insane.
I don't agree that Wisconsin should be ranked higher than Iowa out of the Big Ten West based on what they've got. That's my thing. 18 Oregon State.
Ludicrous.
You going higher or lower?
Lower.
Yeah, people are really projecting Oregon State to have a really good year this year. I would put
based off of DJU. What did DJU
do
with the best talent supposedly in the ACC?
They had a good year last year. I'm with you. This seems really crazy that like we're all resting this on DJU. It kind of blows my mind. 17 TCU.
I think that's fair, but I also could see them not being in the top 25 considering everything that they lost.
They lost a lot, but like they're to me they're a big wild factor. Like I don't really know
I agree.
What to think of TCU.
I feel like they take a huge step back this year, but I also could 100% be wrong because I didn't see them coming last year either.
I like even if they take a step back, they could still be like an 8-9 win team.
That's true.
The Big 12 is crazy.
Yeah.
16 Kansas State.
Fair. I think that's a good number.
Fair to like they also like I think losing Deuce Vaughn's big. I would say fair to maybe underrated slightly if we're just like going off. They did lose a decent amount, but keeping the quarterback is a big deal. I think their defense is still really good. I think that's fair.
Salty defense, I think, makes it fair.
15 Oregon.
Fair. Okay.
Fair. Yeah, about right. 14 Utah.
Underrated, maybe.
I was going to say underrated, I think Utah could be like a fringe 10 team.
Aren't they getting their quarterback back for like his 8th year?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Cam Rising? Yeah.
Yes, sir. 13 Notre Dame.
Maybe a little overrated.
Maybe switch Notre Dame and K-State?
Possibly.
Maybe like I think Notre Dame. This is fine. This is Notre Dame's normal level of overratedness.
Yeah.
12 Tennessee.
I think I want to say fair, but I also border on a little bit overrated after you lost your top quarterback and top receiver.
People are getting super hyped about the guy they got. He has a huge arm. I just don't think he's going to be nearly as. He can't be.
But we haven't
accurate.
seen it yet. Is the like I hate getting some of these ratings on perspectives on how like transfers are going to fit in or how like new coaches are going to fit in.
Well, he's not. He's been there for a few years. He's just
whatever.
He was the backup. I'm trying to look up a recent picture of Josh Heupel to see how fat he is to see what I think of this ranking.
Yeah, because they might be underrated if he's ballooned up to about 350.
Let's see. I'll share my screen. This was a recent. Not fat body, but fat face.
Oh, big time fat face.
Maybe appropriately rated to underrated.
It looks like they drew on his second chin, like onto. It looks like his second chin was drawn on with eyeshadow right
he
around
looks
the
photoshopped.
collar.
He looks photoshopped to be fatter. 11 Texas.
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous.
Absolutely ludicrous.
So if Uncle Rico was on the show, it'd be ludicrous because he has Texas winning it all.
Ludicrous.
Oh, ludicrous. What has So I think based off of last year, you could put Texas in the top 25.
Okay.
And you would be fine to do that. There were so many people wanting to put them in the top fucking 10.
Listen, watch them plummet when they get that ass beat in Tuscaloosa. I'm sorry, basically listen, they are number 11 because they almost beat Alabama last year, who didn't go to the playoff.
They lost to Alabama by 1 point.
Who didn't go to the SEC championship game.
They also did beat Oklahoma 49-0. I think those are the two main factors.
And that was such a bad Oklahoma team. Ludicrous, Jim.
Bad.
Ludicrous.
I will say this. Texas did have a good year last year. Only, Texas Tech's a bad loss, but beating Oklahoma, Kansas State, and, how was Baylor last year? I forget.
Baylor was okay.
It was fine, yeah. I think Texas had a good year last year. I don't think they could be a top 25 team. I don't think 11 is ludicrous.
Bordering on the top 10 when nothing has changed except you lost your top offensive player. Ludicrous.
People are really high on that Ewers kid. Fuck Archie Manning though. Number 10, Washington, the Huskies.
Archie Manning is the greatest. I'll put him up against any horse stud sire out there. Sure, how many Kentucky Derbies has Into Mischief's progeny won, or how many Belmonts has Arrogate's progeny won? How many fucking Super Bowls have Archie Manning's progeny won? He's the greatest sire known to man.
Yes.
Blessed be that ball sack.
Number 10, Washington, the Huskies.
Fair. I think that's good.
I think that's good, dude. I think this team's only going to get better than last year. Number 9, Clemson.
Ludicrous.
I feel like this is also a history thing. This is a name. This is they've consistently been there before.
It's Dabo preseason politicking. That's what that is.
I think Clemson ends 17.
I think Clemson finishes out of the top 25. I think I said it earlier, probably I think this summer, but I think that Clemson is about to cease to be a thing.
Damn. Once Dabo leaves?
I don't think it even. I think he'd have a couple bad seasons. I think barely makes a bowl game this year. Maybe doesn't make a bowl game the following year, and then it's a question of I think he probably retires to get out of his contract and then comes back whenever Nick Saban retires.
Do we think Clemson goes away entirely, or do we think Clemson goes back to what it was pre-Dabo, where they were still a consistent top 25 team?
They weren't, but they weren't even really they were fringe they were maybe make a bowl every season, but I don't think
they were feisty, and then they would that's where Clemson came around. They would always have the perfect season lined up, the good season lined up, and then they would fuck about.
Yeah. I mean, possibly. I think that they just end up like every other middle of the road college football program, and they, struggle to 7 wins, 6 wins.
What would you trade to get what Clemson had in the 2010s though, in the teens?
Oh,
I would trade so much, dude. I would give up so much.
For sure.
Number 8, Florida State.
I think it's fair. I think they showed a lot last year. It might be a little bit too high. It might be a little bit overrated.
I honestly think I'm with you.
I think maybe I don't think you should have an ACC team in the top 10, quite honestly. I think the top ACC teams should be the 13 to 17 or 15 to 18.
Maybe put Florida State where Texas is and get Texas out of there.
I agree. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah. Number 7, Penn State.
Yeah.
Dude, they're going to be fucking good this year. This defense is going to be feisty. Number 6, USC. I mean,
yeah, okay.
Sounds about right. Number 5, LSU.
Hate to say it, but yeah.
Yeah.
About right.
Number 4, Alabama.
I guess I think the only reason they're not number 2 is because you don't know who the starting quarterback is yet.
Yeah, which is still, that is crazy, but I trust Alabama to be like a top. You can't. I feel like we will decry whatever, but you can't place Alabama outside the top 5.
You can't. No, you can't. Not with the amount of talent that they bring in.
I'll decry the history factor all the time, and they had a pretty bad year by Alabama standards last year, but still.
Yeah.
Number 3, Ohio State.
I mean, I think it's probably pretty fair. Yeah.
Same fucking deal. Ohio State's like, I can't think of any more consistent program in the country than Ohio State.
Yeah. They have to reload at wide receiver, I think is the deal.
But they still have like a guy.
Yeah. Their offensive line is, I mean, you see what happens to these like Ohio State quarterbacks when they go pro and they don't have an offensive line that is like a pro offensive line versus a college offensive line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Number 2, Michigan.
Ludicrous.
What
is this, Jim? Is this a special? Is it Ludachristmas? Ludicrous.
So where would you put Michigan?
Out 5, 6.
I feel like you can't put Michigan below Ohio State, though.
I think you can, because I think Ohio State is more equipped to be good every single year.
That is fair. That is fair.
I don't think that. Yeah, I think that Ohio State still out-recruits them. I think their average level of talent is still a lot better. They rejected Jim Harbaugh's ludicrous self-suspension plan. So who knows what's happening with that? No, that is a plummet. They will plummet. They will lose a game and they will plummet.
Okay,
they have an easy-ass schedule.
They do have a very easy schedule. What game is Michigan losing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
gonna go through their schedule real quick. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna pick the Michigan loss. So I don't think they lose a single game before the bye week. Maybe the one. It's East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, Rutgers, at Nebraska, at Minnesota, Indiana, at Michigan State.
Don't be surprised if UNLV gives them fits. When Barry Odom shows up with this like drop 8 thing.
Fair.
Like
It is in Michigan though.
That's fair, but I think UNLV might give them a game. Also, you have to wonder, is Jim Harbaugh even going to be there for it? Is he going to be, like, we like to say that this doesn't make a difference, but it 100% does.
It does. But I can't see them losing before the bye. Literally the only 2 games on their schedule I can see them losing. There's 3, and it's the last 3. It's at Penn State, at Maryland, Ohio State.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say they lose to Michigan State.
You're going to say it?
Yeah, I'm saying it. The year after that brawl in the big house, like, tell me Michigan State's not going to, like, they might be down all year. Tell me they're not going to be fired up for that game.
Oh, they'll be fired up. It's going to be a great game. I'm
saying it. I'm saying they beat Michigan this year.
I'm going to say they don't lose till Maryland. I'm going to say Maryland gets the upset. Which is crazy because it's in November.
I could see them surprisingly losing like 3 games. I don't know which ones. I'm just putting it on my lack of faith in Michigan and the fact that I think that they're like consistently overrated. If you look at what they did against TCU and then look at what TCU did against Georgia, can you tell me that they are legitimately rightfully placed amongst, like, right now they would be, if the season, if they just said no season, our top 4 rankings are going to the playoff. Like, you tell me that Georgia wouldn't kill them. You tell me that Ohio State wouldn't have a good chance of thumping them. You tell me that.
See, but we've seen
Alabama.
It with Ohio
You tell me
State
Alabama.
Ohio State doesn't thump them.
What'd you say?
Ohio State hasn't thumped them in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and Michigan
but
thumped them last year.
But they had won like 15 years in a row.
Exactly. That is true. That is true. Like, I think Michigan would be the worst out of the 4. But I feel like it's the same thing that was with them and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship thing for like the first big part of Harbaugh's tenure is they get to these walls and they just have so much trouble breaking through them.
I don't think they would be able to beat Georgia. I don't think they would be able to beat Ohio State. I don't think they would be able to beat Alabama. I don't think they would be able to beat
LSU.
LSU.
What about USC?
I think it would be a game.
I think that'd be a great game. I don't know. I'm higher on Michigan. I think the defense is great. I do think, obviously, number one, Georgia. Whatever.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I just feel like Michigan is just a very worse version of Georgia. Like, they want to be Georgia. They want to be, like, the run down. They want to be that.
That's what they...
The trenches.
That's what they want to be, but it's obvious that they might copy the X's and O's, but they don't have the Jimmies and Joes.
No, they are a very worse version of that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, completely. You knew it was over for Michigan 2 years ago when they played Georgia, when you watched what Georgia wide receivers did to like their defensive backs blocking them on the edge.
Easily.
Absurd.
Georgia's a different beast. I don't. God damn it, Kirby.
Yeah.
So
Georgia's just Alabama of, 10 years ago.
Yeah, Georgia's the Alabama of the 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
Most ludicrous ranking. Is it going to be Michigan for you?
No, I think it's Texas. Because I would honestly come close to bouncing Texas out of
I would not
the
have
top 25.
I would have Texas fringe top 25. Like
prove it. You have to prove it.
So
right?
what I would do, I would kick Oklahoma out and Texas A&M out. I'd bring Texas down to 23.
It's like it's the two Texas schools, Texas and Texas A&M, that might be tied for most ludicrous.
Okay, if I have to do a hot take thing, here's my hot take. Both Texas A&M and Texas not ranked by the end of the year. Texas and TCU both ranked. Sorry, Texas Tech and TCU both ranked.
I like it. I think you're right.
Fuck it. Even UTSA ranked over Texas A&M and Texas.
That's ludicrous. No UTSA in the top 25.
So here, we'll go through the others receiving votes real quick. So right outside, Texas Tech, 101 votes. So they're 26 basically.
Okay.
South Carolina, we'll say 27.
Okay.
UCLA.
That's
did lose a lot.
High.
They did lose a lot. UTSA at
I'd have
28.
I'd have them at 26, 27.
26, 27, 20. Oh, that's 29. Chase, ranked 30, receiving 22 votes in the top 25, are your Arkansas Razorbacks.
And I think that's fair. I think
you're a top 30 team. I think you're a top 30
I think so too. I think we'd have to. I'd rather have us not ranked in the top 25 this season than we have previous seasons.
I think basically you were a couple coin flip instances away from being ranked.
I think you're right.
Other ones, Boise State, Pitt, Kentucky, Troy, Louisville, Auburn receiving 7 votes. Minnesota, Duke, Toledo, Mississippi State, Florida, Baylor, Illinois receiving 3 votes. Coastal Carolina, and then receiving 1 vote, NC State, South Alabama, James Madison, and Libibity.
Okay. Goes to show you that writers don't know shit.
They don't know shit. I mean, the coaches don't seem to know shit half the time either, though.
That's true. But they're
busy.
All have they all have their team's best interest.
Also that
at heart.
That and they're tunnel visioned. Chase, the other thing that was big in the news that we wanted to talk about was what's up with this Michael Oher blindside? This is so fucked.
Is it bad that it made me kind of hate Sandra Bullock a little bit?
It kind of made me hate everyone in the movie. I'm sure they didn't know.
Of course they didn't know.
But
apparently Michael Oher didn't know.
Michael Oher didn't know till this year.
Listen, if what he is alleging is true, how fucked up is that?
Holy fuck, dude. Not adopted.
Not adopted.
Signed
no
over
familial,
conservatorship.
Yeah, like listen, like if you're not familiar with what a conservatorship is, like think of Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's just what we went through with the whole Britney Spears shit.
Except he seems of sound mind to make his own decisions. Like he was an 18-year-old kid when they made him sign these papers and told him it was like, it just means we'll be family.
Yep.
No, it just means our family will have access to your money.
Speaking of which, not receiving royalties.
Yeah. They said that he received royalties for The Blind Side. He swears that and his lawyers swear that he did not. And that movie made $300 million.
It made a lot of money.
And they have, right now, as it stands, they have the rights to his name, image, and likeness.
Yes.
Insanity.
It's absolutely bonkers. Not only that, but he also, like, the movie made him seem like... it made him seem like a Forrest Gump like character. The movie did not do him a kindness.
No. I saw when I was like 18, Spike Lee came to UALR, University of Arkansas Little Rock, and did a lecture, and my sister was nice enough to get me tickets.
Badass.
Yeah, so I got to see Spike Lee give a lecture on film, and he talked about these movies that he hates, and I can, like, ever since he said it, I totally see it, which is like, I don't know, most black male characters, like, their roles are either like the person that, like, benevolent white people pull out of bad situations, or they're the what he called the magic Negro, like the Green Mile, yeah. and think like they're Bagger Vance, which he used another word with 2 G's and an ER instead of bagger whenever he was talking about it. Yeah, like it doesn't. I worked in wholesale flooring for a while. Like I worked for a wholesale flooring company that dealt with like contractors and designers would bring their clients in. And there are no worse / evil people on the face of the planet than blonde, rich, middle-aged white women from the South. They're just the fucking worst.
Y'all know the haircut too. You know the haircut.
The mom cut.
Yeah, it's dangerous. Also, like, I didn't realize this, but I guess, like, his high school coach was Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, so they got him playing for Hugh Freeze, going to Ole Miss, signing away his right to, like, determine his own financial future, even though he, came out of a bad situation in fucking Memphis, which, I mean, if you've never been to Memphis is not a great place at all. Memphis, as I always say, is a fantastic place to lose your life. So, I mean, there was some good that they did by helping him out, but like, it looks like this was the plan all along. Like, you had to know they knew what they were doing. Like, he was good enough to take his money from. He was good enough to let in the house, but he wasn't good enough to be your family, even though you say that he's your family. Like, you won't put it on paper.
When they went to, like, adopt, quote unquote, adopt him, because they never really adopted him, but, like, to, like, go after him, he was already getting, like, looked at as a college prospect.
Right.
And the movie obviously doesn't show that.
And all they did was point him to a really bad Ole Miss team, like an Ed Orgeron bad Ole Miss team, like when he did not have his shit together as a head coach before he was like the interim coach god.
Yes. It's
terrible.
It's a terrible situation. It's crazy.
We'll find out how much of this suit is true, I guess. Either that or they'll settle. But like if any of that is true, like these are the shittiest people on the face of the planet.
Oh,
I've
disgusting.
decided. It's like
I
Putin,
might add
the Tuies.
I might add Ole Miss as like one of the fan bases, just scumbag. Which, yes.
Yeah, they think far too highly of themselves.
Yeah.
They get fired up when they have a little bit because they ain't never had shit.
I like that. Chase, it's time. We're picking week 11 of college football. We're on week 11. We're almost at the finish line. We're going to have to double up or triple up on some of these NFL weeks once we're done with college, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's easier than doing these college football ones. Tuesday, Maction. November Maction. Ball State at NIU.
Bruce.
Bruce! Give me NIU as well. Oh, God. Central Michigan at Western Michigan.
I'm going to go Central.
I'm going to go Western. We got to cover our bases. Ohio,
that way we win.
Ohio at Buffalo.
I'm going to take a shot with Buffalo.
God damn it. I'm taking Buffalo too. Okay. Wednesday. Akron at Miami of Ohio. I'm going to Akron.
I'll go Miami.
Bowling Green at Kent State. Bowling Green.
I'm going to go Kent State.
You've been getting on a Kent State kick. I filled out the sheet last week. You get on them a little bit. Eastern Michigan at Toledo. EMU.
Directional Mish.
Virginia at Louisville on a Thursday night.
The seat isn't hot for Jeff Brom yet. Give me Virginia.
I'm going to take Louisville. Is that your take? Is that Jeff Brom only, like, he turns it on when his seat's hot?
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
It's true. How long until his seat gets hot at Louisville? Like, how bad of a first year does he have to have?
It depends on how well Texas A&M's offense does this year. Always take Bobby Petrino
Southern
back.
Miss at Louisiana. I'm gonna take the Cajuns.
Speaking of college football dirtbags, you see, like, they refuse to drop Brett Favre out of like the state of Mississippi's suit for, like, they're coming at him to return money that he stole from poor people in Mississippi. Yep. Give me Louisiana.
I'm taking Louisiana as well. Southern Miss also, 2 years ago, they were trying to get Art Briles as an OC.
Yeah.
North Texas at SMU on a Friday night.
SMU.
I'm going SMU. Wyoming at UNLV.
I think this will be a surprising game. Like, I want to go UNLV, but I have a lot of faith in the Pokes this year, so I'm going Wyoming. I'm
going to go UNLV to kind of trip them up at the end of the year, just get one on them. Oh, banger. Michigan, Penn State.
Penn State?
I'm also going to go Penn State here, but that's a great game. Holy Cross at Army. I'm going to go Army.
I'm going to go Army also.
ODU at Libibity.
Libibity.
I'm going to go with the Flaming Libs of Libibity. Sam Houston at La Tech.
La Tech
for me as well. Nevada at Utah State.
I'll take a swing with Nevada.
UAB at Navy.
Give me UAB.
I'm also going to roll with UAB. Pitt versus Syracuse in the Bronx.
At Yankee Stadium, I guess.
Yes, it is. It's at Yankee.
I really want Syracuse. I really want Syracuse to be something. I'll go Syracuse.
I'm going to go Pitt. I do think Syracuse gets something this year, but like it's got to be in the Carrier Dome. It can't not be in the Carrier Dome. New Mexico State at Western Kentucky. I'm going to take WKU.
I'm going to take Western Kentucky.
Maryland at Nebraska.
Huskers.
I'm going to go Nebraska. That's a game that I suspect we will not be. I think Maryland's actually going to be pretty good this year. That's my hot take for the Big Ten. I think Maryland might be like the 5th best team in the conference. FIU at Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee.
Also Middle Tennessee for me. San Diego State at Colorado State. Give me the Rams. Give me Colorado State.
I'm going to take SDSU.
Michigan State at Ohio State. Give me the Buckeyes.
Yep.
Fresno State at San Jose State.
Does Nick Starkel still play for San Jose State?
He does not.
I will take Fresno State.
I'm still rolling with Fresno as well. Air Force at Hawaii.
By the way, Jake Hayner put out quite the performance in the preseason for the Saints.
God, I love Jake Hayner so much.
Air Force.
Speaking of which, our boy Kirkland did catch one pass.
There we go. One. Probably from Jake Hayner.
I'm gonna go Hawaii here versus Air Force. Damn it! Give me 2. I think Hawaii. I need this. New Mexico at Boise State.
Hawaii could listen. I might want to like re-edit my picks because now you have the Hawaii Tragic Magic.
You do.
I was on the Hawaii Little League. I was on the Hawaii Little League team a couple weeks ago against Northern California or I guess last week because of the Tragic Magic.
It was New Mexico at Boise State.
I'm gonna go New Mexico.
I'm gonna go Boise State. Texas at TCU.
TCU.
We almost synchronized on that one. Horns fucking down. Utah at Washington.
Ooh. Banger. Utah. Give me Utah.
I'm gonna go Washington. Banger though. Banger. Washington State at Cal. Not a banger.
Not a banger.
Very much
Washington
not a banger.
State.
I'm gonna go Washington State as well. The leftover bowl. We'll call this the leftover bowl. Duke at North Carolina.
If I find out that they're honoring Coach K at halftime at this game, then I'm all in on North Carolina. Right now, I'm going to take Duke in the upset.
I'm going North Carolina here. Georgia Tech at Clemson. I'm going to go
Clemson.
Miami, Florida at Florida State.
Florida State.
Yeah, Florida State. NC State at Wake Forest. Give me fucking Wake!
Yeah. Same.
Virginia Tech at Boston College. Give me Vatech.
Vatech.
Baylor at Kansas State.
That's gonna be a game. I think, but I'm gonna stick with the home team, Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm going K-State here. Cincinnati at Houston.
Houston revenge time. Give me Houston.
Yeah, give me Houston here. Iowa State at BYU.
BYU.
Give me the Mormons. Yeah, give me BYU.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State at UCF.
They had 28-year-olds playing for them before it was cool.
Damn right. I'm going to go Oklahoma State over UCF.
Same.
That also sounds weird this late in the season, Oklahoma State traveling to Orlando.
Orlando. Yeah, weird.
Texas Tech at Kansas.
I'm going to go Kansas.
I'm going to go Tech. I'm going to go Texas Tech here. I feel like Kansas is going to do a similar thing where they start to fade at the end of the season. Stanford at Oregon State. Give me the Beavs.
Yeah. Shouldn't be 18, but sure. Give me the Beavs.
West Virginia at Oklahoma. I'm taking the Sooners.
Oklahoma.
ECU at FAU.
I'll go Florida Atlantic. That's tough, though.
Florida Atlantic here. Memphis at the Clit.
Give me the disrespected Biff Poggi.
I'm gonna take the kitty. I'm gonna take the Tigers. Give me Memphis. Rice at UTSA.
UTSA,
meet motherfucker. UTSA. Temple at USF.
Give me Kurt Warner's kid in Temple.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Temple. I'm gonna take Temple for sure. Tulsa at Tulane.
Tulane by 1 million.
The Green Wave versus the Golden Hurricane. I'm taking the Green Wave.
The fighting Squidbillies.
The fighting Squid. Sorry, you are 100% correct. App State at Georgia State.
I'm going to take Georgia State since this isn't at home.
I'm going to take App State here. Arkansas State at South Alabama.
USA.
Yep, South Alabama for me as well. Georgia Southern at Marshall. I'm taking Georgia Southern.
They're still in the hills of West Virginia, aren't they? I'm going to go with Marshall.
Texas State at Coastal Carolina.
Coastal.
I'm going to go Coastal to Troy at ULM. Give me the Trojans.
Fighting Troy.
USC at Oregon.
Give me Oregon in the upset.
I'm going to take USC here. Arizona State at UCLA.
I think Arizona State's really bad. Give me UCLA.
I'm also going to roll with UCLA. Alabama at Kentucky.
Alabama by 2 million.
I'm going to go Alabama as well. Vanderbilt at South Carolina. I'm going to go South Carolina.
I want to, but I'm not going to. South Carolina.
UConn at JMU. JMU.
I'm going to go JMU, yeah.
Tennessee at Missouri.
Tennessee.
I'm going to go Tennessee as well. Hesitant, though. Rutgers at Iowa. Give me Iowa.
Iowa.
Ole Miss at Georgia. I'm going to take the Bulldogs here.
Yeah, I'll go with Georgia also.
Northwestern at Wisconsin.
Oh, God. That's gonna be so bad.
Wisconsin. This is late in the season. I'm gonna go Wisconsin. I feel like Northwestern's gonna get one, and it's gonna be the most embarrassing thing for anyone who plays them. I swear to God, if it's Nebraska, I might commit suicide on stream.
No, it will be Illinois. It will be the in-state rival that gets them, I think.
Oh my God. Where were we?
Or that
Mississippi State at Texas A&M.
Mississippi State.
I'm gonna go Texas A&M here. Minnesota at Purdue. I'm gonna go Minnesota.
Yep.
Indiana at Illinois. Give me Illinois.
Illinois.
Florida at LSU.
This will be a banger game. Actually, give me Florida.
Usually is. It is.
It always is. Give me Florida. Give me Florida because they seem to sneak into the swamp and get things done.
I'm gonna go. It's at LSU, so I'm gonna go LSU here. I like your take though. I love it. Auburn at Arkansas.
Arkansas by 3 million.
Yes. Arizona at Colorado.
Give me Arizona.
I'm gonna go Arizona here as well. Chase, that's college football week 11. There's really only 2 weeks left for us to do, by the way.
Nice.
So I think we're gonna line up,
which is good because we're getting down to crunch time. Yeah.
We're getting down to crunch time. We actually fell behind in the NFL, so we were ahead before of college football, but now we're behind. So I don't know how that happened. I fucked up somewhere. We're on week 10 of the NFL. Panthers at the Bears for Thursday night, the Thursday night matchup.
I'm gonna take the Panthers there.
I'm gonna take the Bears. The Colts versus the Patriots with a twist. It's in Germany.
In Frankfurt, Germany.
Frankfurt.
New England.
I'm gonna go with the Patriots here as well. The Browns at the Ravens.
I think this might discreetly be a big banger game, but I'm gonna take Baltimore.
I'm gonna take Cleveland here. Houston Texans at the Bungles.
Give me the Bungles.
The 49ers at the Jaguars.
Give me the Jags.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers. The Saints at the Vikings.
Who dat?
I'm gonna go with the Saints. Packers at the Steelers.
Steelers.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. The Titans at the Bucks. That's a bad game.
That is a bad game. Give me the Titans.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. Falcons at the Cardinals.
Falcons.
Falcons for me too. Lions at Chargers. Go Chargers.
Chargers gonna charge. Give me the Lions.
Giants at the Cowboys.
Give me the Giants.
Give me the Cowboys.
I feel like Dallas might have an even worse season with Mike McCarthy calling the plays, quite honestly.
Well, I don't fucking know about this team at all. The Commanders at the Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks. The Jets at the Raiders. I'm going to go with the Jets.
Dude, they just signed Dalvin Cook. Like, if they just keep getting richer, God, I don't. Hard Knocks is making me think Aaron Rodgers isn't that bad of a guy. You know, kind of how it makes me fall in love with every single team every single year. Fuck yeah, give me the Jets.
Monday Night Football. The Broncos at the Bills.
I'm gonna take the Broncos.
I'm gonna go with the Bills in this matchup. Chase. Nice little fun episode of the Jimnasium we just had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all good. Good stuff. Good things happening.
Good. Damn right. Is there anything you would like to shout out before we sign off?
Let's see. Coming back from vacation where I didn't do any podcasts last week, but I've got my podcast this, 3 episodes this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Other than that, not much.
Y'all know where to find me. I got a lot cooking. Up for this month, next month. It's going to be a fun time in the garage. Stay tuned, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of the Jimnasium. Bye.